Hi everyone. It's time for art. I am really excited about this art project. And I think a lot of you know that I love owls a whole lot. And today we're going to be making owls. So what you need are you'll need two pieces of paper, and you'll need markers and crayons. You'll also need scissors and glue. Okay, so those are all the things that we'll use. So the first thing we'll do is we'll start with one of these pieces of paper, and we're going to make the body of the owl. Okay, and now I'm going to try and draw mine upside down. So if it comes out a little funny, that's why, but I'm going to try and draw it upside down so that you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to do is make a big U. We want this to be almost the whole size of the paper, and I know you're experts at U's. So big line down, curve around, and then back up to the top. Okay. Maybe I'll use a marker so you can see. We'll do it one more time because I think if I use a marker, you'll be able to see it better. So it's big line down, curve around, and then back up to the top. There, now you can see it. Okay? And then, after you do that, we're going to do a little smile right across the top. So a little smile right across the top like that. Now can you picture that looking like an owl? This body, that's the body of the owl. Yeah, so that's the body. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside for now. And we'll work on our next parts, which for this one, we're going to do something interesting. So fold your paper in half. Because we want these to, we're going to do the eyes and the wings, and we want them to be the same size and shape on both sides of the owl. So we're going to fold our paper in half, and we're going to draw it once, and then we'll cut it out, both pieces of the paper at the same time, and then we'll have two of them to put on our owl. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw these. So first we need an eye. Now, do you think owls have big eyes or small eyes? Pretty big eyes, don't they? So we're going to draw up in the top part, draw a big circle. Okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine is not a perfect circle, but that's okay. Okay? Art doesn't have to be perfect to be really cool. So there's my circle for the eye. And then I'm going to do the wings. And I'm going to fit the wing down here. If you don't feel like you have enough space, you can just get another piece of paper and fold it in half. Okay? So for the wing, what we're going to do is you're going to make a rainbow on top. See how I made a rainbow? And then it's the same on the bottom where it will be a smile. Okay, so there's my eye and my wing. Okay, so the next step is to cut these out. I'm going to cut both papers at the same time. See how my paper is folded, and I'm cutting through both of them. Okay, so you just want to hold it, and I'm cutting with the back of my scissors, and I'm just kind of putting my hand close to the part that I'm cutting to hold those two pieces of paper together. And just cut around. There we go, there's my two eyes. And then I'm going to cut out the wings. And before we put them on, we'll do some decorating. So just cut out, remember I'm cutting both sheets of paper at the same time. This is how I make two things that are exactly the same. That's called symmetrical, when you make two things that are the same. And look, now I have two wings that I will put on my owl. So here's what the next step is. We're going to add some color and detail to these. So I have markers and I have crayons. So I'm going to just set this one aside for now, and I'm just going to get out a piece of scrap paper to do my coloring on, because the first thing I want to do is outline my wing. I'm going to use my brown marker. You can use any color you want, but when you outline it, remember how it makes it just, the colors will pop and it makes it really interesting. The reason why I'm putting a paper underneath it is because sometimes when I go around the edge of things to outline them, my marker goes off the paper. And that's okay as long as you have a scrap paper underneath. But I didn't want to draw on my desk, and I don't think that you'll want to draw on your desk either. So if you put a paper underneath, then it's totally fine to go off the edge. And so you can see I just did an outline, and you can see it, you know, there's a couple of spaces with some white where I might want to go back and just add in a little bit more of my brown just to get a nice outline of my wing. I'm going to do that for both of my wings. So you can go ahead and outline your wings. We'll both, I'll pause this so you don't have to watch me. So outline your wings. Okay, now that I've outlined both of my wings, and you should have done that too, I'm going to add decoration to them. Now, you can do it realistically if you want to make a realistic owl, or you can do it in an abstract way and add patterns and colors. I'm going to do an abstract way. So what I want to do is I'm going to add some brown zigzags, and then I'm going to add some other colors to my owl. And I'm going to use a mix of crayons and markers to do this. So I'm adding my details. You can do dots, you can do stripes. If you want to color them in all one color, you can color them all one color. It's totally up to you. Be creative. And think about the colors you want to use. Think about what would look really interesting and pretty, and go ahead and do that. I'm just going to keep adding details that I think are pretty. And then I'll probably use a crayon to just kind of color in the whole background here. But I'll add some bolder, brighter details with my marker first. And I think I'm going with brown, maybe teal, and some orange. Maybe I'll add in a golden color too. Maybe that'll be the color that I do underneath. Okay, so I'm gonna pause so you don't have to watch me do the whole decorating here. And you pause and then go ahead and color in your wings however you like. Okay, so I've finished coloring in my wings, and you should have finished coloring in your wings. So you can just set those aside for now. Now I'm ready to work on my eyes. So the first thing I want to do is trace around the edge of them, just like I did with the wings. This time I'm going to use black. I want my eyes to stay white. So I think black is a good color to outline them with, but you choose what color you would like to outline your eyes. Okay, so you just go around the edge. Remember, it's a good idea to put a scrap paper underneath. And just trace. Okay, so go ahead and start doing that. You can pause me if you need to. We're going to trace around these, and then I'll just do one for now, and then I'll pause to do my other one. But I want to show you, I also want to add the pupils. Remember what the pupils are? The black part in your eye. So go ahead and add the black part, which you'll make like a circle in the middle for it. Okay, so it doesn't have to be right in the center. Think about where you want that to be. Okay, so you're tracing and putting the pupil on your eyes. Okay, so you should now have two eyes for your owl that are outlined around the outside and have pupils. So now we have wings and we have eyes, and I'm just going to set those aside. I'm going to kind of try and clear my workspace is getting really messy. You can probably understand how that happens, right? Okay, so the next part is to work on our owl. So we're going to cut that out. So just carefully cut around that. And then we'll kind of go through the same steps that we went through with our wings. Outline and then decorate. And to do the decorating, I'm going to do the same thing where I use a marker first to do some decorations, and then I will use a crayon to color it in. So, let's see. Just cut it out carefully. Again, I think I'm going to use brown to outline my owl like I did with my wings. So as you're cutting, you can kind of think about your color choices. So I'm going to set my owl on my paper here that is my scrap paper. And just carefully trace around the edge. Okay, so go ahead. You can do your tracing. I'll just trace around my edge. And then I'm going to color in my owl. You can decide what kind of designs you want to do. Do you want to do polka dots? Do you want to do it realistic? You could do it all one color. I think I might try and do some designs that look kind of like feathers a little bit. That might be like kind of like a V. They're kind of supposed to be like feathers, but I will maybe not do realistic colors. Okay, I'm almost done tracing mine. And you can be tracing yours too. We can be doing it together at the same time. So there. You can see I have an outline on my owl. And now I'm going to start working on the body. So I'm going to make these little designs that look like feathers all over my owl. And I'm going to do it in different colors. So that's why I'm not putting them too close together. I'm going to do something that looks like that. You can make yours as creative as you want. You can do polka dots, stripes, designs, squiggles. I mean, anything you want, right? Sky's the limit when it comes to getting creative. Whatever you can think of, whatever you think would look really neat or beautiful or cool, then you should do that. I'm going to use my same colors I thought that I used on my owl. I'm doing the orange, the brown, and the teal. I think those are a nice combination. And then I'll go ahead and color with some crayon too. Okay, so I am going to pause you now so you don't have to watch me finish decorating my whole owl. And you can go ahead and finish yours too. We'll both pause and finish. Okay, I'll see you back in a few minutes. Okay, so it's probably hard for you to tell. I colored my owl in brown. Okay, we are ready for putting the pieces together now. So I'm gonna do mine so it's facing you so you can see it. Let's see, is that better? No. I'll try and do it facing you, okay? Can't tell which is better for you. So we're gonna do 2 eyes up at the top. Okay, so that's the first thing, is get your eyes and position those right up here at the top, and they can see how mine are not all the way down here on the owl. You can do them down here if you want to, but I'm gonna make mine up a little bit higher, sticking off the top just a little bit. So let's see. Use my glue stick. Remember, I know I say this all the time, but when you're gluing something on, put glue onto the piece that you're gluing on, and then put that piece on. So I'm going to put, and my eyes might end up overlapping just a little bit, which is okay. So put glue onto the eye because that's the piece that will stick onto the bigger piece. And then put your eye on. you know, my eyes aren't perfectly round, so that's why you see me kind of positioning them, like turning them a little bit to position them. Maybe I'll put that like that. Get them how you want them, you know. Before you press it down, you can still move them around. So there's my eyes. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mine are not perfect. That's okay. There's my eyes. So go ahead, pause me and glue your eyes on. And then come on back and we'll do the wings. The wings are going to go below the eyes and they're going to kind of point out a little bit like that. Okay. So they'll look kind of like that. So I'm going to put my glue, and you know what? Even though my wing is sticking off a little bit, I'm going to just put my glue on the whole back because I'm not exactly sure where I need it. And then I just won't press down the part that's not on the paper, and eventually it'll dry and it'll be okay. So I'm going to make sure I don't want it to overlap my eye. But see, I'm not going to push down hard on the part that's not attached to the owl. So there's one wing. And then I'll do my next wing. We're almost done. I can't wait to see your owls. I bet they're so beautiful and cool and cute and wonderful and every adjective I can think of, every describing word. You should feel really proud if you went through these steps. Remember, we tell ourselves when things are hard, we say, I can do it. I can do hard things. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Mine is not perfect at all, but look at how cool it turned out. It's such a cool owl. I love it. I'm going to find a spot to hang it up. I hope you are really proud of your finished owl too. Maybe you can find a spot to hang it up to share with your family. Okay, thanks for doing that project with me. I think that was a really fun one. And like I said, I particularly love owls, so that's why I picked this one. And they also remind me of fall. So, I don't know. There's my owl. I don't know why they remind me of fall. Maybe because I hear them a lot because it gets, you know, the nighttime is longer in the fall and the winter. And so I tend to hear owls more outside my window. Maybe that's why they remind me of fall. Okay, so go ahead, finish it up, and please share a picture with me. I'd love to see your beautiful owls. Okay, artists, that was a fun project. See you later. Thanks for doing that with me.